Prince Harry last week announced that him and his wife Meghan Markle would make a dramatic return to Britain just a year after swearing they'd never be back, in a move that instantly went badly, as he was named among a list of people who now have to pay out over £9 million pounds, third time lucky, to the publisher the Daily Mail, as the entire planet, whether you're pro or anti-Harry, asked one single question: what the fuck are you thinking? What is the plan here? Why are you coming back? Nobody wants this for you. Even people who support him are like, this is just going to be difficult for you, dude. What are you doing? But Gerry, as we get kicked off here on another edition of Low Blows, we're back from our hiatus, guys. We've had our SummerSlam break, and we're ready to chat again. Gerry, as we get kicked off here on today's show, what is the most baffling comeback you can think of in wrestling history?
Baffling comeback. Okay, it's so stupid. Like it has to be this. There was a couple of years ago, WWE kept saying former world champion is going to appear on Raw. You're like, holy shit! Okay, who's Stone Cold? It's going to be The Rock. It's going to be someone big. And Jinder Mahal walks out. And you're like, like the whole it wasn't even everybody at home. It was the reaction of the crowd in there. You're like, oh my god, what the fuck did we just witness? Like what Jinder Mahal? And the thing is, I'm nothing against Jinder Mahal. I actually think he's quite a good wrestler. I actually thought his WWE title run wasn't actually the worst. It was just strange. It wasn't the worst. But former world champion is going to appear on Raw. You think Batista maybe, or The Rock, or somebody big, somebody who is a proper world champion. And like fucking Jinder Mahal. I'm like, oh, come on.
Will I tell him, guys? Will I tell him? I think I should tell him.
Wow.
Do you know the way, Gerry, sometimes your memory can be a bit sketchy and you remember like half of something, but you don't remember the actual thing?
No.
Right. You've done a Gerry on this one.
Have I done a Gerry on this one? What did I do?
That was the first part of that segment. And you remember the part that nobody remembers in favor of the part that was the reason for the segment. Because The Rock came out after him.
Did he?
It was a fake out for The Rock. It was a joke.
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember that part.
You remember the setup but not the fucking punchline.
I'm just going to... I don't care what you say. I'm going to go with former world champion was Jinder Mahal. So
for me, it's straightforward. It's like Shawn Michaels had the perfect retirement. He went out like having a near equal classic match to his arguably one of the greatest matches of all time with the WrestleMania 25 against The Undertaker. They had the rematch of WrestleMania 26. It was Shawn Michaels' last match. He went out at the peak of his powers. For me, I'm one of the people who believe that Shawn Michaels' second run post his initial retirement was arguably better than his initial run. He had more classic matches. He was more seasoned.
Yeah.
He just had a better brain for wrestling, and he went out on top when he was still at the peak of his powers with an absolute classic. There's no better way to write that, and this is the Heartbreak Kid in the Triple H era of WWE. He runs NXT now. He's not stuck for money, and yet they got to him, because what was the one match that could get Shawn Michaels out of retirement? The only match he's had, like, this is the last match that Shawn Michaels has had, right? Crown Jewel 2018. DX against the Brothers of Destruction. One person in that match could like wrestle properly at this point. It was Triple H. And what happened? He tore his fucking pec in the first 5 minutes of the fucking match. It was a disaster. There was the whole awkwardness around, Shawn Michaels is bald now. They've been covering that up in the random appearances, but now we're just confronted with his aging. We were confronted with everyone's aging. It was... Do you know what? Like, I know people are like, oh, I don't like how they're taking WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble to Saudi Arabia. It's better than this shit that they're actually having events that matter. If they're going to have events in Saudi Arabia, they may as well be events that have to matter, because we just got pitiful shit like this constantly in Saudi Arabia, and it ruined the perfect retirement. I know people say you never stay retired in wrestling. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count. It fucking does. You only get one last match, and this is Shawn Michaels' last match, provided he doesn't come out of retirement for like against a random NXT guy or something like that to put them over. that is his last match, and that is a fucking travesty because he had it perfectly. You could say the same about Ric Flair, but he did it 100 times. Like, but after he came back to TNA after "I'm Sorry, I Love You," that was kind of bollocks. But that's what we expect from Ric Flair. We expected better from Shawn Michaels, and that was the moment that we learned in his balding, please roll the Brinks truck up to my home, new look. That no, Shawn Michaels is just as mad for the money as any of them. So that's it for me.
Of course he's mad for the money. Like, it doesn't matter if you've got 20, 30, 40, 50 million in the fucking bank. If Saudi Arabia come a call and they say, we'll give you 5 million if you have a 10-minute match, none of them are going to say no.
Yeah.
None of them are going to say no. It's ridiculous. Like, it's silly money. Like, I seen reports there now. It's a while ago now, but reports are trying to get The Rock over for a match for 20 million, Stone Cold over for a match for 20 million. I'm like, that's stupid money. Absolute stupid money. Now, some of these, like The Rock, now let's be honest, The Rock doesn't need it. The Rock is practically, if he's not a billionaire, he's close to a billionaire. So, like, he doesn't need the money. His only motivation would be actually having a match. Like, if they come to him as 50 million, it was like, what am I going to do with that? Wipe me arse with it? That's Stone Cold now, different matter, because obviously Stone Cold is not quite as rich as The Rock. He has a big ranch that he has to maintain. He's all the whatever lifestyle he has now. He obviously does still make money off merch because he's still, even after so many years, he's still a huge fucking merch guy. But he doesn't fucking need the money. No, he doesn't need it. Like, he'd probably take it, but he doesn't fucking need it. Like, a lot of them don't need it. You know,
Austin though is the one you can respect because he came out for like a WrestleMania main event, and I'm like, you can respect that. Like, even if it's not fully you're wrestling in the top. You still had a match. It was fine, like against Kevin Owens. He didn't embarrass himself by any means.
no.
Kevin Owens apparently took a few potatoes because he forgot how to work a punch, but that's just a funny story. But Austin is kind of the one. We're back for a very specific reason on Low Blows this week because I was literally chatting to the girlfriend beforehand, and I was just like, I'm doing a podcast tonight, and she's like, why? And I go, basically because I'm going on a trip and I'm an extra bastard who has to do a podcast every time I do something nice. I'm going away to Wembley this weekend, so it is relevant for AEW All In. So I want to see if I can sell Gerry maybe on not coming with me. I think that's a bit too much of a stretch, but at least watching it. And we're going to do a bit of a preview of what to expect. And we'll be back next week then talking about my experience in Wembley. If you remember my last experience in Wembley, I did a podcast about that as well. Mainly complaining about the seats. It wasn't a great experience. So we'll see. Anyway, there's that to come. There's a few things to catch up on as well in the meantime.
I'm sure there's plenty of seats for you to choose from when you get there.
Oh, hey, Gerry, they've nearly sold the same amount as they sold when Bolton played Rotherham in the League Two playoff. So go fuck yourself, right? And that's not even a joke. Bolton sold 48,000 tickets. They're at 41. So they're getting there slowly but surely. That's nearly half the stadium filled, right?
Now, listen, at the end of the day, I can say fuck all because look what happened at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
SummerSlam was the exact same way, but at least I liked SummerSlam.
Yeah, true. Well, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the show itself. I don't really care if Tony Khan doesn't make the money that he doesn't get, and if they have extra seats. The seats were awful last time, so if they have extra seats this time, they can't really complain and say we've nowhere to put you. Anywhere in the state, literally anywhere. We're going to be previewing that, but since we've been back, or since we've been away as well, Raw got announced for Dublin. We want to talk about that. AJ Styles kicked off about his son, so I do want to kind of have a discussion around that as well. I don't know your thoughts on this, Gerry. So
this is the thing. I don't know my thoughts on it because this is something that has actually escaped me. I've obviously seen stuff about it, but I'm like, what the fuck is this whole pay and your dues thing? So you will have to explain that part to me.
We'll find out. We'll find out Gerry's thoughts live. And yeah, G1 final took place as well. I want to touch on that briefly. And Gerry, of course, you, as you were kind of promoting, like as we were building up to SummerSlam as well, you had a busy 2 weeks. You had SummerSlam one weekend and then you had Dublin Comic Con the next. So I wanted to check in on how that went. How was Dublin Comic Con? Any mad experiences or anything like that? How'd it go for you?
Dublin Comic Con was exceptional as always. When I first kind of came on board with them, I kind of get there maybe on a Friday afternoon, help out a little bit, do a little bit, interviews on the Saturday, interviews on the Sunday, and then the cosplay competition. help out a little bit on the Sunday afternoon and then go home. Now it's nearly a full week of prep and setup and everything that in between. But I absolutely love it. Like it's hard work, but at the end of the day, you're having a bit of crack with everybody there. You get to see all the new sets that are coming in. So it's a tiring week, but I enjoy every single bit of it, from organizing all the stuff in the warehouse, putting them on trucks and getting them there, to setting everything up, to when it's all finished, you're like, oh, look at this. And you go around all the stalls. Like, that's the thing I actually love about it, is that I get to go around all the stalls before the doors open to see, I might buy that, or I'll buy that, put that away for me, please, or, that type of thing. Because these things, a lot of stuff sells out there. So really, really good this year. We had Bandai there this year selling a lot of stuff. We had eBay Live this year, which was a new one for us, selling and buying stuff live there at Dublin Comic Con. So that was really, really good. We had some fantastic guests, and of course, the big one for the weekend was Charlie Cox, which really, really nice guy. The one thing I will say about it is that I don't know. I kind of had this vision of Charlie Cox being maybe 6'1", something like that. So when he walks past you and you're taller than him, like, what the fuck did I just see? Like, what the hell? So all the guests were fantastic for this weekend cosplay competition as well. I had a new co-host, which was my good friend and your friend as well, Vic, Mr. Vic Viper. He's only gone by Vic nowadays, who dressed up as Omni-Man on the day with fucking everything on show. Mother of Jesus, he was practically poking you in the eye with it. But no, we had a great time doing the cosplay competition. It was literally a hairy moment on stage. I have no idea what the costume was. Haven't a clue. A lot of the stuff is like manga and things like that. Really, really fantastic, creative. But this person came on with a pair of scissors the size of me. And I said, can I have a trim? And practically took my fucking head off. I'm like, what in the name of Jesus is going on here? The crowd loved it, of course, because they love when I make a bollocks of myself on stage. Remember, I'm the guy who said child predator on stage, so there you go. That's just the way it goes. But for me, the hairiest moment of the entire fucking weekend, and there's always hairy moments when it comes to Dublin Comic Con, but the hairiest moment was the guy who eventually won the cosplay competition came on stage. This massive suit of armor, something like Helldivers or something like that. But the gun he had, there was sounds coming out of it and lasers coming out. That's really cool. And then he presses a button on it, and it's like a smoke machine comes out, and the lasers come out. Well, I didn't know what the fuck was going on because I could see movement. You could feel movement, with your peripheral vision. I was like, I'm trying to concentrate on him, but not look over here. So eventually, I usher him off stage. There's about 10 members of staff from the CCD saying, like, what the fuck is going on? Luckily, he was like the last person on stage. I was like, okay, judges, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I'll be back in a second. I ran backstage. I'm like, okay, if the alarm goes off, we have to evacuate. I'm like, what the fuck is going? What do you mean alarm going off? What are you talking about? Is there a fire? I was like, no. The sensors in this room are so fucking sensitive that you can't even have a smoke machine go off. So if that reaches the sensors, we're fucked. The entire building will have to be evacuated. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, my. And he said, and next time, tell them they can't have lasers. They can destroy your retina. I'm like, yeah, I remember. I bought lasers when I was 10 in Spain. Fuck off, will you? I know what I'm doing. But while looking over there and the guys to my left. But that was definitely a hairy situation, and the staff were literally on edge. I'm like, hasn't gone off yet. Hasn't gone off yet. Hasn't gone off yet. And I'm like, okay, we're good. And then, of course, the judges announced him as the winner. So I ran back down to us and do not press that fucking button again, please. Don't press it again. The problem was, I think he was either Argentinian or Brazilian, and he only had a little bit of English. And he was like,
so all he heard was press that button.
I was like, no buttons, no smoke, no smoke, no smoke. And he was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, fine. So we came back on stage. But at that point, he thought he just won the competition. And that was it. So, thanked everyone for being there. That was great, blah, blah, blah. And I walked him off stage. I said, oh, no, the way you have prizes. And he was like, prizes? I was like, yeah. We had the Matrix of Leadership from Transformers. There's only 2 of them in the country at the time. So he got a special edition from Big Bang Comics. We had all these other prizes for him. And he took the helmet off, put it down, and he's looking. And then he started crying. And I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I just didn't think. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm like, Jesus, I never had that reaction before. It was amazing to see, obviously, this young chap coming over from South America. I think it was either Brazil or Argentina, and he's not here. He's only here a couple of months, and just to see his reaction because of his costume was fantastic. So that was really good. But the one really big thing for me for the weekend, and I'll finish on this, was
Oh,
I presented the very first Brody Awards, which is to do with
yes.
the indie devs at the weekend, and it was a commemoration of young chap Brody, who we had last year at the cosplay competition, who sadly died only a week after the show last year. So this was set up as a commemoration to him. And we actually had his parents come, so they came on stage with us. And as heartbreaking as it was, I actually kept it. I kept it together this time rather than last year. I didn't. I kept it together this time, but it was a lovely tribute to him. We had a video and pictures of him on the screen. And what we want to do is next year we want to make the Brody Awards bigger and better, and we want to make sure that the entire room is completely filled. There was a good crowd there, but I want to make sure the entire room is filled. So we're going to make it very much like the Oscars. We're going to make it a big deal, an even bigger deal than we did this year, and hopefully we can get his parents then again there. But it was a lovely tribute to him. The indie devs that we had there on the day were very surprised by the awards. They didn't realize they were going to be winning, so they won as well. And just on the morning of it, we got a confirmation that the prize money for the main winner, which was Game of the Year, had gone up to €2,500. Was an anonymous donor, and they gave money towards it. So €2,500 for the winner. It was really, really good. Um, so I want to kind of highlight that. I want to highlight Oscar's kids as well, who are our main charity helpers from that. Lara and Ivana from them. Amazing work that they do. And of course, Brody's parents were there on the day. So I'd like to thank them as well. So we had a fantastic time. I'd never presented awards before. I hope I get a chance to do it again because it was really an honor to do it. And just overall, the kind of was the cherry on top of the weekend, which was DCC Summer Edition. So a great time.
Nice, nice. I think what you do at DCC is like, look, there's a reason you're involved in both. It's very similar to what we do at Low Blows. Like it's ultimately like, yeah, you're putting on an event and there's these cool things. It's like we show the pay-per-views, and I suppose that's what you're coming for. But what you stay for is the community. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what I love. We've been fortunate enough. Now I'm sure it hasn't. Maybe I just haven't heard, but we've been fortunate enough never to have someone that's known to us kind of passing Low Blows as well. But like, these people become like an almost extended family. Do you know what I mean? Like they're people that over the course of, like, there's people that I know through Low Blows now, like, what, 14 years, some of them. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, so um yeah, these people matter, and it's good to kind of see. It's really nice to hear of kind of you guys paying that tribute and kind of doing it right, and people responding to it as well. So really, really good work. And now you're done with the cons until next year, is it?
No, God, no, no. We've
Okay.
won in about 5 weeks.
Oh wow. I got
Yeah,
it totally wrong.
yeah. We nearly had two. We
Okay.
nearly had two. So there's a brand new one called Collector Con, which is very different to DCC. This is specifically for collectors. So a lot of DCC people will be there. People who would go to it would go to it as well. You might have somebody who has Pokemon cards, or you might have somebody who has Rolex watches. It could be cars, it could be handbags, it could be memorabilia, it could be autographs, it could be anything at all. That's what Collector Mania is.
Nice.
Collector Con, I should say, Collector Mania, not Collector. Um, so
Good thing
Collector
the kleptomania.
Collector Mania.
You nearly a kleptomaniac yourself at the
Oh
weekend.
well.
Jesus Christ.
Well, maybe. But unfortunately, due to issues with venue and timing and stuff like that, it just didn't work. So that CollectorCon is going to be next year, 5th and 6th of June, I believe it is. So it's June anyway, early June 2027. That will be back. But we do have one more con before the end of the year. Actually, technically, it should have been three because we should have had HorrorCon as well, but unfortunately, we couldn't do that either. But we do have Cork Comic Con coming at the very first weekend of October. Really looking forward to that. And I kind of set the challenge. I set the challenge. It was really fucking high challenge for the Dublin crowd, and they did not beat Cork. I'll be honest with you, because the challenge is that Cork were so amazing last year. The challenge was that Dublin had to be better, and Dublin were not better. You are not better, Dublin. I am a Dublin, you are not better. So I'm going to be going down to
Oh,
Cork in at the start of October to tell them that yes, they're still the number one crowd.
okay. Okay,
I'm probably
that's
getting
interesting
fired
because
for that,
usually
but that's
like
okay.
people just say it. I like how you actually it's very on brand as well. Like you make it a very real thing of like most people are just like you're the best crowd we've ever seen to whoever's in front of them. You're like no, there is a best crowd and it is not you. Last night was better, which I'd say goes down great. But like, look, you've been a heel before, you can work it, so fair play.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Glad to hear. And look, we put a link in the show notes anyway where you can keep in touch for all things Comic Con and kind of if you want to get tickets. So check that out as well and support Gerry. It's a really good thing. If you're into low blows, you'd be into this. If you're into kind of nerdy stuff as well. So yeah, it's literally like the same people. Like Gerry's there, so greet me at the door essentially with Comic Con and then on stage too. In the world of wrestling, we had kind of came last minute where off the ball, unfortunately, kind of fucked themselves. They announced that they had a huge announcement with a pre-recorded interview they'd done with Finn Balor and Becky Lynch. Finn Balor and Becky Lynch weren't just booked; it was the weekend of the Zuffer Boxing over here in Tree Arena. They were there to help promote it and drum up ticket sales because it wasn't the biggest selling event they'd ever had. Zuffa Boxing still very early days and kind of waiting to make its mark, even with the Irish headliner in the main event. But they were doing press elsewhere around the time as well, and off the ball leaking that they had a big announcement, but then being on 7 o'clock that night and revealing this 24 hours just led to everyone else who had Finn Balor and Becky Lynch live on their shows beforehand, like Ireland AM, just going, what's the announcement? Turns out the announcement, we got excited for a while. We wondered if it was going to be Clash in Dublin. We've been talking about that quite a lot on this show. It's not. It's going to be the first ever taping of Raw in Dublin Tree Arena on the Road to Royal Rumble tour in January of this year. Gerry, we haven't spoken on the show since then, so let me get your thoughts. I know you gave SmackDown a miss last time. Is this something you're looking to attend? It's Raw in Dublin, like it's pretty fucking big, but what are your thoughts?
I'd have to see the price of the tickets because the price of the tickets to SmackDown were fucking extortionate. I'm like, I'm not paying a literal mortgage payment to go and see fucking wrestling. I'm not doing it. If this the one thing I will say in praise of AEW is that they don't charge an extortionate price for tickets. Like, look at Wembley Arena; they're not extortionate price tickets. They're
31
really
quid, I think, is the cheapest ticket you can get.
like, come on, like that doesn't matter if it's in the nosebleeds or not because it's 31 quid to go and see their
Yeah.
biggest show of the year, and it's something that they're going to put everything behind. Whereas this was a Raw and SmackDown, and you're not going to get everything behind a Raw or SmackDown. I will say this: when the announcement came, I'm like, that's it. That's
Really?
it. That's it. It's just a Raw. We had SmackDown. For a long time was arguably the better show over Raw for a good while. I think Raw is probably pipping at the post at the minute,
I don't know.
but
I think
only by
SmackDown's taken
little.
over. Like,
Well,
look at
I
Raw.
think now you look at the roster now on SmackDown.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like
what I
I
mean.
couldn't give a
Like, you've
fuck.
got Sami Zayn, Cody, CM Punk, Kevin Owens, Balor.
Yeah,
On Raw, you pretty much just have. Now, I imagine they'll pack it.
bloodline. Woo,
Yeah,
fucking
you've got the
great bloodline's
bloodline,
been
and
going
that's
on
pretty much
27
it. And then
years.
Danhausen is their number two star, like essentially after
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
there is that too.
it's not exciting me to be honest with you. If I were to get, let's say I were to get a ticket for 100 quid, I'd be like, right, okay, I'd go to that. But it's not going to be 100 quid. It's going to be a lot more expensive than that. So I'm like, no, I couldn't be arsed. On the day, they'd be like, oh, we have an extra 200 tickets here and we're going to sell them at fucking 0.5% off. Great for our Irish customers. Fuck off. Just fuck off. You hungry money grabbing bastards. Just fucking, just charge cheaper for the tickets, you miserable fucks. Miserable fucks. Miserable. I'm sorry. It's absolute gouging. Absolute gouging just to see a fucking Raw. The prices that they were charging to go to SmackDown, I pay for a pay-per-view. I pay for Clash in Dublin, or something like that. Or Bash in Belfast, wherever it may be. I'm not paying for a fucking Raw or SmackDown. That's just going to be throwaway as shit. And it is, Jerry. It's going to be throwaway.
There's a lot of that discussion going around, and I get it because really what we're communicating is we're frustrated
Yeah.
because look, you can downplay it all you want, but it's cool that we're getting a Raw in Tree Arena. Like, there's no way that
There's no doubt.
there's no way that I'm not excited that Raw's coming, and you know they're gonna load up with Irish people. Like Lyra's on Raw as well, so she's gonna be there. Becky's back as well, so she's gonna be there. Who knows what iteration? And Becky's the type of person who, if you go a few years without seeing her, the next time you see her, she'll have a whole new character in kind of Chris Jericho type of way. So it's there's value every time you see her. So, and then Balor was promoting it, so I imagine they'll have him at least in a dark match as well. Um, but yeah, and in a way, we're kind of focusing on the ticket prices because a lot of people are pissed off because they're either not willing to fucking pay like yourself, or they just can't afford it, and they're just like, that's just not in my budget. Like,
Yeah.
it's coming straight after Christmas. It won't be January payday by then, and so on. So I hear that. Ultimately, there's calls that we got in the post, like, and a lot of excitement around it, and I agree. But then there's calls on the post that we put out, like, going, we need to boycott this, we need to boycott this. And the bad news is that what you're describing is a free market in terms of boycotting it. I get the point that people are making. If we all boycott it, they have to lower the prices. But the reality is, the prices are the prices because that's the price they'll sell out at. You know, this is going to sell out and people are going to pay it. And the question you have to ask yourself is, do I want to miss Raw when it's in Tree Arena? For me, I can walk home from this. It's the coolest thing ever. Like, so I get it. I do. I'm still gonna go to like I am. Like they can
I
name
get
the
it.
price
Yeah.
like pretty much. Like I'll probably put 300 as the limit on it, but like I'm
Fuck
gonna
off.
go because I'm just like, this is a once in a lifetime, and I'm a very big believer in put your money into experiences. You know what I mean? So
I absolutely. But I didn't pay €200 for Dolly Parton, so I'm not paying €300 for Raw. So you can fuck off.
they're pretty much the same experience. If you've seen
Like
one, you've seen the other.
listen, I get what you're saying. It's the very first Monday Night Raw in Dublin,
Yeah.
and I'm like, it's a big deal. The very first SmackDown in Ireland was a big deal, and the fact that we were going to be getting John fucking Cena on his final tour, and he comes to Dublin on a SmackDown, like that is history in itself. You're like, holy shit, this is the last time we are going to see. The last time you're going to have an opportunity to see John Cena in a WWE ring in Ireland. The last fucking time ever. And even then, I'm like, I'm not paying that money. I'm just not. Like, I understand some people will. And I get that. And fair play to you.
They'll
If you want to
sell
pay that
out.
money,
Like,
it's going to
there
sell
will
out.
not be tickets left. It will sell
Yeah.
out.
But I'm like, I'm looking at that going, no, I have my mortgage to pay. I have my fucking my car to pay for. I've a medication to pay for. I'm like, I'm not. No. £100. I'm like, if I got €100, grand. But I'm not. There's just no way. I'm not spending it. And that's just it. Like, I will absolutely 100% praise Tony Khan and AEW for the way they price their tickets. Now,
Yeah.
like, go back to what you were saying there. Like, if it's priced at 300, people will pay it and it's going to sell out. But yet you've got AEW who are like, cheapest ticket is 31 fucking quid. 31 quid, and they're not selling it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Honestly, what do AEW have to do to get to that level to
Well,
where it
maybe
doesn't
not
matter
sell
what they
it.
do?
Maybe don't book Wembley. Like, booking an 80,000
Ooh.
seater when you're the second show in town and you lost like Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and all over the years.
Yeah.
Like, that ultimately is kind of what that comes down to. Whereas WWE, even then, they're not selling out Crow Park. They're selling out Tree Arena, like, which is a
Mm.
fraction of the percentage. So that's why they can charge and so on. So completely, it is a massively different scale to judge them on. Like, it is literally like, 8 times the attendance AEW's going for, so that's why it's ultimately different, and a completely different level of exposure. Like, WWE's on Netflix, and AEW over this side of the continent, you have to have a subscription to watch them, unless you stay up till all hours to watch a show on delay on ITV. So yeah, it's apples and oranges kind of, but I do
Yeah.
hear the point as well. What I'd say is that ultimately, like, Live Nation are the real villains in all of this. Like, I'm not defending TKO's pricing scheme by any stretch of the imagination, but we're all a victim of dynamic pricing. Like, AEW tickets are 31.50. They're not a cool £30. They're £31.50 because the price is dynamic. It's not set by Tony Khan making a decision that no, I want families to be here because and only pay £30 to watch it. That is the price the algorithm tells me that people will pay to be able to sell this out. And it's the same logic with WWE. If people don't go and they don't pay, it won't be. But I also don't agree with just asking people to not go, like, and risk not seeing it. Like, I get the people to do, and I'm going to be one of those people. So, but I think that both sides of the argument we've kind of represented well. Here's one that I'll kind of bring you up to speed because you said that you hadn't been.
Yeah.
AJ Styles Avery, who actually last night, we're recording this on Monday evening, signed for TNA. He made his debut at TNA Lockdown. So he is getting fast tracked and then some. He made his debut in wrestling in June, and now he's at TNA Wrestling. So kids getting favors because of his name. Now, by all accounts, he's quite talented too. So there's that as well. Like the gene pool is strong in the Styles family, and he literally has the name AJ Styles. You've heard that before as well, haven't you? All of
Yes.
AJ's kids are named AJ in some way or shape or form. So he has literally the same name as his dad, and seems to have some of the
He
natural
he
wrestling
he
talent as
came
well.
out doing the whole hood thing as well.
Yeah.
And then I saw the graphic behind them was literally AJ Styles graphic without the J. It was just A Styles. I'm like, lads, come on. You know,
He's not a J Styles. He's just a Styles. Just a Styles. He's just
he's A
one of
Styles.
many Styles.
Now
Yeah.
listen, I did look into him in terms of being a wrestler, and he
Okay.
certainly has talent. I will give him that.
Yeah,
He's
he can
not
do
his dad though.
moves.
He's not his fucking dad.
Yeah, and he's not going to be. No wrestler
Yeah,
is going to be AJ Styles after like 3 months. Like it's just not
yeah.
reasonable or possible. Like, and he's kind of living and working through that as well, and kind of hit like the kind of realization of that in a very very real way. By I thought these days were done, but a spat on Twitter broke out after awkwardly, Natalia made a fawning post, basically praising him for how he wants to do it the right way. This kid who got signed 2 months after his debut to TNA, literally named as Styles, doesn't want to ride the coattails of his dad. He wants to pay his due, and it was just. For me, in this, if you're gonna pick a villain or someone whose fault it is, it's Natalia's because I'm like, the kid is getting fast tracked. No one would say no to this. Like, don't make it awkward for him by talking about how he's not getting fast tracked. And spoke about how he wanted to pay his dues. That was provocative to a lot of people because Eric Cannon, who is, I'll be honest, Eric Cannon is a fucking mouth, right? He's had a go at us before as well. Like he'll fight anyone. He is essentially just a bad hairline away from being Jim Corderas. Like he'll fight you on Twitter over nothing. Like, do you know what I mean? His hobbies. Like again, he's had more Twitter fights than wrestling matches. I'm not being bad. I don't have anything against Eric Cannon, but the only time I ever see him or hear him, apart from randomly being name dropped in a CM Punk promo one time, is because he's been in a fight on Twitter. Same thing as Jim Corderas these days. But he came out and it's an interesting point and one that a lot of people then backed up. He said the exact quote was, as someone who watched this kid skirt away from helping with a single thing at this very show, the show that Natalia commented on, I'd just like to say L-O fucking L. So essentially, and this has been like essentially he didn't help out at the wrestling show. He was brought in as AJ Styles' kid and treated himself like an import, despite the fact that he hasn't had double-digit matches, or didn't at that point anyway. I'm not keeping a match-by-match update on Avery Styles. AJ rushed to his son's defense in what I would argue is another own goal in this case, but also it's his son, so we all kind of get it, you know what I mean? But we're all like, no, that's just not the thing to do. You just guaranteed he's gonna get several punches in the face now during wrestling matches, like
Oh,
that
100%. Yeah.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the defense he made was that he was asked there as a guest, and it's like asking a guest you invite over to your house to clean your dishes for you. And I hear that, but I don't know if AJ is the best house guest because, like, if I'm in someone's house, I'd offer to clean dishes for them. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it's a fairly normal thing to do to turn
If
around
you're
and say,
feeding me, if you bring me over to your house and you say, come on over for dinner, I
yeah.
will gladly come over and eat your fucking food. And afterwards, I will clear the fucking table, bring the dishes in and wash them.
Yeah, at
That's
least
what I'll
fucking
do.
offer, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. Like, and then there's a whole like fucking Mrs. Doyle situation where you're like, no, no, you sit
Yeah,
down, no, no,
exactly.
no.
But why
Yeah,
do we do that, Jer? We do it for one simple reason, and it's one word: respect. That's it.
yes, yeah,
Respect. You
yeah,
do it for respect. Like me and you, we have been back in the day. We were part of many a wrestling organization, and didn't matter how fucking what level we were at. We always helped. We always,
mm,
that needs to be Ryan. That needs to be built. You need to do this. Need to do that. Blah blah blah. That's the way it has always been. I have always helped out. You have always helped out. That's how literally you pay your fucking dues.
yeah.
So now I understand the situation, right? Now
There's
when
a
I'm
lot of there is a lot of perspectives that I want to kind of inset in the
yeah
scene though, because it's kind of just pulled on a thread, and the argument in a very Twitter way that we haven't had in a while has just expanded into bringing in all these other things. Big Show came out and then said um, that he doesn't believe in the idea of paying your dues because he argues that paying your dues, and there's no, it's not completely without merit, is a way for old time wrestlers to bully younger wrestlers and get them to do shit for them. This was then made bigger because Sam Gladwell, a UK wrestler who signed to NXT UK, came out and said Big Show was a bully when I was in WWE, and he used to always go mad about how I didn't pay my dues. So this is hypocritical. It's Twitter stuff. It's just Twitter being Twitter.
yeah.
Avery hasn't commented on this for what it's worth, and AJ is kind of putting it to bed as well. But nobody is denying this. Nobody's saying he actually did help out. Nobody, not a single person has come out and said GCW have distanced themselves from Eric Cannon's comments. You have to wonder if there's they want to keep AJ sweet and they want to make sure that they could maybe get him because AJ did appear on the show with his son to hold his hand up at the end of the show. So that is the scene. There's a lot to unpack there. I think you're leaning probably one way, and talk to me about that.
No, well, I can see it from both sides because at the end of the day, if you can get from not being a wrestler to wrestling in a fairly large company in a very short span of time, fucking hell, do it. Like, absolutely. But you'd better be respectful as fucking hell if you're in that locker room. If you're going to be in there after 3 months with the legacy of your dad hanging over your fucking head, you better be going in. You better be shaking everyone's hand. You better be saying, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags fucking full, sir. You better be going, oh, I'll help with the ring or this, whatever. Doesn't matter how big you are or how big your dad was. Show respect. And then if you show it, you get it fucking back. And you get it back in spades. That's the way it has always fucking been. Now I see the other side of the things where, like, people are going fucking crazy over this. I can also see Big Show's perspective in that if you can get away with it, then just fucking do it, But like I'm looking as well as like at the weekend I saw an article about Sting's son being possibly signed to AEW.
Yeah.
And now that I think back on that, I'm like, okay, so I'd love to know what has his journey been. Because obviously I don't know, so I'd look into it.
He's from the Indies, to be fair. Like,
Oh, okay.
has kind of trained, done the Indies and stuff. Again, there's no reports about him big leaguing or kind of anything, but
Because I
maybe
was
people
wondering,
start talking about him.
I was wondering, was it a similar situation?
Yeah.
But clearly, you're telling me that he's an indie guy. Anyone who works the indies, you need that. You need to work in the indies for an extended period of time. Going in after 3 months is not good enough going into TNA or AW or WWE. The reason for that is that you're still green as fucking shit. And it's, everyone has to learn. Now, if it's somebody brought up from, like, say, a developmental thing where you've just gone in and they're developing in there and you bring you up after 3 months, you're still not ready. Like, Maxine Dupree is a great example of that, is that she was green as shit when she went on the roster. She still wasn't, she basically couldn't do a match. Now, I would argue she's not that far along now, but she's a lot better than she used to be. This situation, it's a double-edged sword, I think it is. It's like, if he does really fucking well, if he gets in there and has amazing matches after 3 or 4 months, who the fuck's going to care?
Mm.
Like wrestling is not for wrestlers. Wrestling is for fans.
Mm.
You're not wrestling for yourself. You're wrestling for fans. You're wrestling to make money. So if he gets in there and he is spotless in the ring and he has great matches with whoever they throw him in there with, and if he gets a few slaps along the way, then he gets a few slaps along the way. The one thing I will say is that you look back on somebody who was trying to get into the business through his father, and he got taught a lesson by a veteran in the locker room. Have you any idea who I'm talking about there?
I can't take off some of my head. Who are you talking about?
Ric Flair and his son and The Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
So we were
yeah.
going into that match at WrestleMania, Ric Flair and The Undertaker, his son, was it
Reed.
Riley? Reed.
Reed.
Reed was there, and The Undertaker bet the fucking shit out of him. And the conversation afterwards was, your kid did good. Your kid did good. And, so there's so many different aspects of this. I don't think anyone's going to go in there and knock the shit out of AJ Styles.
Sorry, it was David, not Reed.
David.
It's not Reed is the son that unfortunately passed away. David is
But I don't think anyone's going to go in there and knock the shit out of. They're not going to do a hardcore Holly on A Styles. But I could definitely see, there's a few receipts, I think, there. Absolutely. There's a few smacks coming along the way. But I think that's all about learning. That's all about learning. Yeah. We, like, at the start, we got fucking a few smacked at us, and it's not like there was a lot of veterans in the country at the time when we were fucking wrestling and training. We were all just the same. Everyone was going up together, and we had one or two guys
like hitting each other.
Exactly. But it was all in good fun. That's that lovely quote from The Simpsons. Yeah. But so, let's just see how this goes when it comes to him. He has been fast track. He's only had a handful of matches. He's only been wrestling for 3 months. But Jesus, he could be an absolute prodigy and get in there and we're all like, fucking give him the championship, send him to WWE, go to AEW and win the belt, whatever. This could work out really well. And if it doesn't, then we'll know. Yeah. If he got in there and the hype is just too much for him, then he goes back to the indies and you fucking learn, buddy. Learn.
Yeah. I agree with you in the main. I think there's a few things here because you're right. Where I totally agree with you is wrestling is for the fans ultimately. And I think if he comes in and is the best wrestler ever, no one gives a shit. You know what I mean? If he's absolutely fantastic in the ring and has amazing matches, all of this is just noise and it goes away very, very quickly because, again, people want to see more of him and we don't give a shit. Randy Orton fucking in his youth shit on the shit in Divas bags and it was known. It wasn't like a secret. It was like in the fucking Wrestling Observer like the week after he did it. And we didn't care and we celebrated him as a legend, we love seeing him come out and singing his theme song. You know what I mean? So do we necessarily care if people are dickheads? Not maybe a little bit, but I suppose where it's interesting is to gauge if he's built for success here or if he is, in fact, a David Flair type. Because David Flair, of course, let's not forget, had his own kind of attempted career in WCW. They tried to give him the golden child treatment and he just didn't have it. And he never made it as a result. Like, again, people might argue with he wrestled in WCW. Is that not making it? But he never became Charlotte, put it that way as well. He's not the successful Flair child. I wonder, and again, I don't really judge AJ here. It was an own goal, but again, what are you going to do? Is he not going to use his voice to defend his kid? But I would hope that he had conversations with Avery in the back where he's like, dude, seriously, fucking I hope that his public stance isn't his private stance. He's not going to come out and slam his kids. That's just not going to happen. No. And he's like, you're a father. You push yourself into unreasonable kind of point of view to see your child's side, and that's just being a father.
Yes.
But I think, for example, I immediately thought back to stuff like even when I works for Fight Factory, True Low Blows a while back. And look, I was a general manager, but it was a purely kind of promo piece from them in terms of we've a bit of a following on Low Blows. Fight Factory are making moves. They want to boost their profile. They're getting a podcaster in as a kind of personality and stuff like that as well. And that's the deal. I'm there because I just like Fight Factory and want to signal boost them and like what Katie and Phil are doing. And like I'm not there to kind of further my own ambition in wrestling. I have none. You know, I've been there, done that, tried it. It wasn't for me, and this is where my relationship with wrestling lies. Um, but I don't think people who are maybe defending Avery realize how much of a fucking dickhead you have to be to not help out. Because before wrestling shows, it's boring. Like, fair enough, there it's fine if people's flight doesn't get in, they just arrive beforehand. No one judges that in wrestling if you didn't help out when you literally couldn't physically be there on time. But it's the fact people judge you when you stand around and you just let other people work. Like, that is a big deal. Um the reason I think that AJ should have chats with his kid in the background is be smart, son. Like, be
Yeah,
fucking smart. You're being watched. AJ accused people criticizing his son of jealousy, and I think he's right in saying that. There is a bit of jealousy there. People see Eric Cannon is someone who has wrestled and is most notable, has wrestled for 2 decades and is most notable for getting in fights on Twitter. Realistically, that's the only reason I know his name. I've never seen one of his matches, honestly. But I know his name because he's always in fights on Twitter, like he is now. Um, so I can see why he'd be pissed off. He's like, this kid coming in and he's going to get a contract and he's going to get this, that, the other. That's going to be the nature of the business and he's going to be watched. So it's fucking stupid of him to walk in and treat himself like a big star because yes, you do succeed on the merit of your own talents, but you also succeed because the people in the ring with you want you to succeed and enable that to happen and will do their job to the best of their ability to make you look good and succeed. If they don't have that goodwill, they can make you look like shit. You know what I mean? They can,
yeah.
the worst case scenario, this is Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan. They can do that to you and just make your offense look ridiculous. They can not sell for you. It's a collaborative business, so you need the goodwill of people to succeed. But I think it was a stupid move by him. He's also a young child. He's also new in the business. This doesn't happen to everyone who has their second match, you know? So, like, they don't get talked about on Twitter if they've had their second match because who the fuck are you? This is happening because he's AJ Styles' kid. So it was a mistake. He needs to pick up fucking chairs though. Like, it's like you're standing again to go back to Fight Factory. Like, I helped out there because it's like, what else am I gonna do? I'm not trying to pay my dues. I'm not trying to become successful. I'm not trying to win people over. It's just weird for me to just stand here for 2 hours watching other people put down chairs and do menial tasks.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I'd be an asshole if I treated myself like I was above these people. And he's not above these people. He's at the he probably will be in a year or two. He probably already is a lot of them now that he's signed for TNA. But now he's not, and he kind of showed that I do think myself above, which where it becomes relevant to us to bring it back is he going to make it? If he thinks that he is above the wrestling business and the steps that you need to take and helping out other people and winning other people over, he will not make it in the wrestling business, no matter who his that is, no matter how fast he's fast tracked. He'll get his one tag team match with AJ that AJ's very loud about wanting to do and being willing to come out of retirement for. And then we'll never hear of him again, and he'll be David Flair. He's like, they wanted him to be a thing, but he wasn't a thing because of his last name. Um, and ultimately that's where this falls. So I don't know. Thoughts? If any final thoughts on it, or
I'm very much a wait and see. I still think that you get respect by showing respect. How anybody and how he was never taught this, how he didn't get this from his dad. Now I find a bit surprising because
well,
even
were you at the Super Show with AJ?
the Super Show
The IWW Super Show, or were you done by then?
is SFX.
SFX AJ Daniels main event.
I was, but
I tell you, it
I
runs in the
only I
family
on-
because I'm not telling tales here, but my impression was AJ was he's doing a lot of talking and shit talking of all the boys in Big League and everyone. And he can fucking help out with a fucking chair. That's not even a joke. So maybe it runs in the family. Maybe it's don't help them out with them chairs. That's for the little people. No, he was a young AJ, so again, I'm not going to hold it against him. But all I'm saying is, in my one experience being on the same show as AJ, I did think he could do a helping out with a chair or two. Just legitimate thought in my 17-year-old brain at the time was he's a bit of a knob. He's not helping out at all. He's just shit talking everyone like he's bigger than all of us. And he is. He's AJ Styles. He's a legend. So I guess history proved him right.
Yes, yes, it did. Oh my
Uh,
God.
Gerry, in a moment, I'm going to try sell you on watching AEW All In this
Oh,
weekend.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
But I want to start small and see if I can sell you on watching one match. One match for me, okay?
Uh,
It's a Japanese match. Okay, okay.
no, okay. No, 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 go on. Go
Okay,
on.
okay, okay. Because I think you'll like this, okay?
Yeah.
There's one match I want you and everyone who hasn't seen it already to go out of your way to see. And I'll give you the backstory to it. It is the final of the G1 Climax 36 tournament.
Hmm.
And it is up there with Chad Gable and the Americanos match for match of the year. It
Whoa.
was fantastic. Okay.
Okay.
The background to this match, and then just go away and check it out. I'm sure they'll release it for free sometime on their YouTube if you don't want to sign up, because it's just that good and they'll want people to see it. Maybe towards the end of the year. This is a weird G1 climax, okay?
Okay.
In that New Japan this year in Wrestle Kingdom lost Hiroshi Tanahashi as an in-ring performer. He retired. He was retired by Kazuchika Okada, the ace who was put in place to replace Tanahashi as the ace of the company. But Okada, of course, has gone to AEW. That was a one-off appearance. It was a surprise appearance because his ending of the relationship with New Japan, people felt, was quite poor, and there was a lot of bad blood there. But Tanahashi's gone. Okada's gone. Naito's gone. Naito is now the GHC heavyweight champion in pro wrestling. Noah, he's gone from New Japan. Will Ospreay's gone. Kenny Omega's gone. Every part that made New Japan a thing and that made G1 climaxes for years, with the likes of AJ Styles in it over the years, Finn Balor, etc., Shinsuke Nakamura, every part of that is gone now. And with Tanahashi gone, they just didn't have any stars. They had some people. They have Zack Sabre Jr., but he won it a couple of years ago. They had Takeshita, who wrestles there pretty much 50-50 between that and AEW. He really is a New Japan wrestler, and he's full-time there and full-time in AEW. I don't know how he does it, but he's an amazing talent, and it's just another chance to see him wrestle in that style that you don't necessarily get to see him in full in AEW. So they have some stars there, but no one. But they really had to rebuild through youth, and they have a group of people who they haven't got the rub because Okada didn't put anyone over before he finished. He didn't name a new Okada. So they have to kind of just figure it out. And everyone was wondering as we went into this G1, what are they going to do? New Japan made the decision, we're going to blow it all up. You think that this person's going to win, or Zack Sabre might win again, or we have to have a name win this because this is our essentially Royal Rumble where the winner is supposed to wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom for the title, but they've changed that in the last few years weirdly to King of Pro Wrestling instead, and then they figure out another Wrestle Kingdom main event. But still, it's a big deal to win a G1 climax. It's kind of signpost you as the future of the company. And no one knew which way they were going to go, to the point that no one had the final in the prediction league that ended up happening because they just went all in with youth. They pushed all their chips on the table and said, we're going to just back the young stars in a way I don't remember a major wrestling promotion doing before. The final of it was Yuya Uemura versus Ryohei Oiwa. Gerry, do you know either of those wrestlers?
I do not. I'm not even going to pretend.
I'm not surprised. They asked for a reason. A lot of people listening don't. Unless you follow New Japan, you don't know those wrestlers, which is why it's brave that in their one advertisement where the world is going to talk about them, they decide we're going to pick these two wrestlers and we're going to signpost them as these are the future. Along with other talent like Yota Tsuji is the heavyweight champion. Shota Umino was one of the favorites going into this, who you may know from being affiliated with John Moxley and AEW and the likes. But he got injured, unfortunately, on the first night and had to pull out of the tournament, so he may have been in there. But these wrestlers are just out of nowhere. But you get it. And the run that they had in the tournament towards this kind of signposted it. Uemura, you look at him for a second and you just see his entrance and you're like, this guy's a star. I get it. He's got like the look, he's got the theme song, he's got the presentation, he's really exciting in the ring. His finish is like a fucking tiger suplex with a bridge. When do you see a tiger suplex that's not in a WWE SmackDown game? Like, it just doesn't happen anymore. But fucking cool. And he's just like really big babyface guy. Ryohei Oiwa kind of looks like a Japanese version of a JBL or something like it. He looks like he's a big, beefy kind of Southern style wrestler, except he's Japanese and he wrestles that way. He was someone that no one was thinking was going to go anywhere because he's just a mid-carder guy. Like he's
Mm.
just a young guy that like is one of the many prospects that they have. But he's got a really cool, like, unique selling point in that his finisher is a headlock. His finisher is a headlock, right? And it's a fucking strong looking headlock because he's got fucking big arms and he really cranks that thing in. And people tap out to the headlock all the time. It's kind of like the Master Lock brought back to full Nelson. And he just went through this tournament like tapping out like top names to headlocks. But even then, it wasn't until the final night. Like no one thought he was going to even qualify from this, even heading into the final night. And then all of a sudden, taps out a guy with a headlock in the final. Actually, no, he got the win by. Sorry, yes, he did tap someone out on the final night and got through to the final. So now with all the pressure and all the lights on them, Yuya Uemura and Rei Oiwa wrestle in the main event of G1. And how did they start the match? Yuya Uemura, not the headlock person, grabs him in a headlock. And he's like, I'm going to top you out straight away. And they built an entire match, 40 minutes of wrestling in New Japan, the cool promotion with all the mad shit that happens, all the gifts and stuff like that. And they did a 40-minute fucking wrestling classic about who was going to beat the other with a headlock. And it was fucking fantastic. Go out of your way to watch it. It is a match of the year candidate. It is old school wrestling done with a blend of new school that is just so exciting. And it is the type of thing that will get you, Gerry, interested in watching New Japan. Have I sold you?
Okay, listen, I'll give it a go because it's unusual. It doesn't have a name. Nobody I fucking know. Not a clue. Finisher of a headlock.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, right. We'll give that a go. Is it
Okay.
a YouTube thing or?
I think it'll be on their service, which I can give it. Don't worry, I'll
Okay.
hook you up. But like, I think they will release on YouTube because it's a real like banner match for them.
Mm.
But just one to watch. Like New
Yeah.
Japan finally seem in a weird few years for them where they've just lost star after star after star. They really had to go out and make stars, and they just went
Mm.
out and did it the old school way of just catapulting two young guys and just going, give us a wrestling classic. And they fucking did it. It's a
Okay.
fucking great story. And even the in-ring stuff. You don't have to appreciate or know any of that, but just
Mm.
knowing it will give you kind of benefit context.
Okay,
All
you
right.
have me sold. You have me sold.
Okay. While I'm in the mood for selling you on wrestling things you don't normally
Oh,
watch.
bollocks. Here we go.
We got you early on in the year to watch Double or Nothing for Low Blows Live. And you were a good sport about it. You did it because, again, there was people going to come and you'd piss them off if you didn't. So fair play. Um, I think it's fair to say it didn't sell you on watching
No.
AEW and become a fan. Okay.
No, no. Saying that, like, I think on the night because I can't really remember it that much, but I believe on the night I was actually more impressed. There's a lot of matches that I just couldn't have given a fuck about, but a lot of the women's wrestling was actually. I'm like, this is a lot better than fucking WWE. And I'm like, this is actually really, really good. But there's a lot of wrestlers in AEW that I just couldn't care less about. Like,
Okay.
really couldn't care less about. So if you're going to be going over a thing for All In, I'll tell you what I care about and I'll tell you what I don't care about.
Okay. Let's see if we can give you some context and gauge what you care about. If we go through the card
Yeah.
announced so far. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have the
cool.
Trios Championship on the line. You have Hangman Adam Page and Brodito recently won
Okay.
the titles. They'll be wrestling to be announced.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, I'll tell you my dream team for who they're going to face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sheamus,
I know you're
Claudio
going to say.
Castagnoli,
Yeah.
and Pac in Wembley. Sheamus
Well,
joins the Death Riders.
okay. That would be fucking insane. But Claudio's already in a match.
He's not in a match. You haven't read it properly.
Have I not?
I'll explain that coming up. He's not
Okay, right.
already
You
in a
like.
match. He
Okay.
might have to qualify for a match. He may be in a match, but he's not going to be in a match.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
all I'm saying is that's on the table, okay? Am I getting you a little bit? Have I piqued your interest a little bit?
I tell you what. So that I do like a trios match. I do like the fact that AEW have a trios championship. I do like
Yes.
that, and they tend to give a little bit more emphasis on tag teams and trios in AEW. Will give that because, like, Jesus, WWE just. I'm like, Triple H is a guy with a wealth of experience, and he still doesn't know how to book tag team wrestling. I'm like, get your head out or finger out or Stephanie's fucking thumb out of your arse and actually do something about the tag division, will you? It's just because I love tag team stuff. I fucking love it. And it can be the most entertaining thing you can see. And for me, as when I was a ref, loved tag team wrestling because it's just more exciting, I think. I think there's something about tag team wrestling. It's like, get that tag. One, get that tag. Just love it. So I'm like, I do like the fact that AEW put more emphasis on that. So that's a match. That is a match I'd like to see. If Sheamus was part of it, even more so. Now,
Well, it's not going to be announced. It's going to be
oh, I
there.
know it's on the night. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's Wembley. You know, it's not exactly Ireland, but I think the roof. If Wembley had a roof, it would be blown off if Sheamus comes out. I think.
Sheamus joined the Death Riders would be fucking cool.
Yeah,
Now,
but
I
think,
want to be clear. That is me being totally. I don't know if he even contractually can. But I'm just saying that's what I hope happens. If you like tag team, can I interest you in some women's tag team action? Divine
yes,
Dominion, the champions, Lena Cross and Megan Bayne, they're kind of like just really good wrestlers, and Megan Bayne in particular is like physically imposing. They're wrestling the Brawling Birds, Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. The Brawling Birds, and what this gimmick match is, it's the English people wrestling for, as you can tell by the name of tag team name of the Brawling Birds. They're like their entire gimmick is just whoa, yeah, whoa, we're women, whoa, lads, yeah, women, ladies. I don't know how you do the female equivalent of that, but that's their gimmick. Like that is their gimmick, where they're just like, oh, have a few points in it. Hey. They're just really British. Does that sell you? The idea of just
that's another match I would be absolutely into, but into for even.
Are you just saying that because it's women?
No, absolutely not, absolutely not. No, but that's just it. I literally said 2 minutes ago that I thought the women's matches were more entertaining than the men's. So it's a women's tag team match, absolutely. Yes. But there is another reason that I'd like to see this match. Is like I just like to see Alex Windsor get a smack because she just has a face you want to smack. Like for another woman to suck, I should say. I'm sure she's. I'm sure she's.
Smack Alex Windsor.
I'm sure she's lovely. I'm sure she's lovely. But every time I see her on the screen, I'm like, oh, someone give her.
Just because she's Will Ospreay's partner.
No.
Would you just do that to piss off Will Ospreay? Is that what's going on here? Like,
no, well, he deserves 20 fucking smacks.
He cares for her. He cares for her child, Gerry. How dare you? Like, I'll not have you slate the Ospreys.
You know what? I'm not getting into that.
He's the daddy.
I'm not.
Right?
No.
All
not touching that. I'm not touching that. No way. We don't touch. We don't do personal shit. You don't do family shit. You don't invoke names of people that are dead. No, not touching it.
No, he does. No, he talks about.
I know. No, I'm not. No, I don't. But then he's a prick. Well, he's even more of a prick. Let's move on, please. Thank you.
Kevin Knight against Darby Allin, Falls Count Anywhere match for a TNT Championship. Are you still angry at Darby Allin? I'll never forget your review of AEW All Double or Nothing, where you said Darby Allin would be great if I was younger, but I'm not, so I hate him. Like, are you still resenting Darby Allin for your aging?
So what I meant by that was when I was younger, I didn't have any sense in terms of, people killing themselves during wrestling matches is the best thing in the world. Like you look at Mick Foley coming off the Hell in a Cell. Oh my God, isn't that amazing? And then you realize, hold on, these people are fucking killing themselves. Stop doing it. So you would think somebody like Darby Allin, who has been taught by the likes of Sting and is now seemingly getting mentored by Mick Foley, who loved to kill him fucking self in the ring, he's still fucking doing it. So I'm like, please stop. Please stop being such a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. Stop being such a fucking idiot so that you might have a bit of longevity in your career instead of retiring in 5 years because your neck is fucking sideways. So, no. So this is a match. No, it's not for me.
Darby Allin's probably going to jump off. They did someone jumping off the Wembley sign, like the scoreboard before. It's Falls Count Anywhere. So this is a match that I'll definitely get a good view of this at one point. Like even if my view is shit in Wembley, they're going to brawl into the crowd. They're going to do mad shit. So I'm looking forward to this.
I watch wrestling because it's entertaining. I will not watch wrestling where somebody is almost guaranteed to get hurt. So that's a match. I'm like, no. Absolutely not.
I don't get hurt. He climbed Everest and he survived. He doesn't.
Fuck off.
The Casino Gauntlet match. Andrade wrestles MJF, Ciampa, and then TBA. This is for a future title shot. So essentially, a Casino Gauntlet. Do you know the rules for that?
I don't know. No, what's?
So it's basically, I can't remember the name, but Corporate Keen came up. Do you remember when during our ill-fated tenure as bookers of Courage that never got brought to a show, where Gerry was actually a surprise participant as well. They were going to bring out in that show. You were opening the show, Gerry. Like, he doesn't remember his own fucking life. You were coming out as Jerry Soul, and you were doing a funeral for wrestling because it was called Low Blows Kills Wrestling.
Was
And
I?
you, yes, that was a whole thing. He doesn't. This is his life, guys. He lived this.
You say, hold on, what the fuck are you talking about? It was never a Courage show.
Yeah, we were booking you for that. It didn't happen. Yeah.
Okay.
No, so he had a type of match where it's a gauntlet match, but it can end at any time. So like if there's a pinfall, it can just end. There's no like you have to get through 5 people. It's new people. So it's actually an advantage to start at number 1 because that's the only time where you wrestle like 1 and 2, and that's Andrade and MJF. It's the only time you're guaranteed to wrestle one person, but anyone can pin anyone, and it is a bit of fun. Last time we got Zack Sabre Jr., we got Nigel McGuinness as surprise entrance. So this is one where it's a bit of a Rumble type situation where you don't know how many wrestlers they have, you don't know how many surprises they have, and they keep it for surprises. So does this interest you? It's got MJF. I think you like MJF.
Every minute or two they come out, is it? Is that
Yeah, every couple of minutes.
Okay,
it's 5 minutes for the first fall, and then 2 minutes after that.
So obviously the 3 that have obviously been announced is Andrade, MJF, Ciampa. Am I right about that?
Correct.
Okay, absolutely, 100%. I love and loathe MJF for the reason everyone else does, because you love him because he's fucking brilliant, and you hate him because he's fucking brilliant. So I absolutely. Andrade is I look back in that series of 7 matches that he had with in WWE. Who did he have that with?
Oh fuck! I can't remember. Was it Sheamus?
No,
that did
that was
with Cesaro. Yeah.
He only had a US title match last week.
Is it? Oh, Aleister Black.
No,
isn't it? Okay.
No, we only had the US title match last week.
Gary, no one likes to hear us think about it, so let's just.
Okay, yeah, okay. So
people are screaming at the podcast right now.
Exactly, screaming. Fuck's sake, Gerry! Fuck's sake, come on. So with your man, that was fantastic. So I think Andrade is
Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo, that's the one. There you go. Yeah. So him or Carmelo was fantastic. So yes, absolutely love him. MJF is great. Ciampa great. This is one to watch. I would definitely watch this. This is an interesting one, yes.
Okay. Continental Challenge Cup final. So I hate to give you anti-AEW content, but the Continental Championship is the most annoying championship in wrestling. Basically, they wanted to do their version of G1 at the end of every year. So it takes place around November, December. So a few months apart from G1. So they're not just stepping totally on their toes. Although it is G1 for all intents and purposes. And then at the end of it, the winner becomes the Continental Champion and wins a title belt. But that is a normal belt. They can just be defended on normal shows, except for stuff like this. And this is the first time they're doing it where they're having a cup. But the winner of the cup will then be the new Continental Champion. So, the Continental Champion, who's Jon Moxley, is also involved in this tournament, and he does have to be beaten, but the person that beats him won't be the new champion because you have to win the cup to be the champ. Yes, it's not good. It's not.
My brain hurts. My brain hurts
as fuck. But the winner of this will be the Continental Champion, Jon Moxley or Claudio Castagnoli. It'll be decided on Dynamite this week. Will take on the winner of Kyle O'Reilly or Nigel McGuinness. If I was a betting man, I'm saying this is Jon Moxley against Nigel McGuinness. It's in Wembley. Nigel McGuinness isn't in this tournament for no reason. And great, like Nigel McGuinness making his return to wrestling in AEW in Wembley 2 years ago was, if Daniel Bryan didn't win the title that night, would be my highlight. Nigel McGuinness is one of my low-key wrestling heroes from the Wrestling Channel days and Ring of Honor. Got to be in the ring with him, with our mutual friend that we spoke about earlier, Vic. He wrestled for Irish Whip at one point, and it was just amazing to see him up close. I was refereeing that match. And just like an absolute pro. So Jon Moxley against Nigel McGuinness. If that's the match, are you watching?
I would absolutely watch that. Now, remind me, obviously McGuinness hadn't wrestled for a long time. Was an announcer or a commentator in WWE. Remind me, why was he an announcer and not wrestling.
He just retired. He just retired as a wrestler.
So
Injuries 3
no,
years
no,
ago.
no, like, oh, I can't wrestle anymore because my neck or my head is fucked. Nothing.
No, it's not one of those dramatic where there's like a clear bad injury that he's coming back. It's not a Daniel Bryan type situation where you're worried that his
Okay.
body is going to decompose. He's just retired, and he just transitioned into commentary. He started in Ring of Honor, did a bit of work for New Japan, if I remember correctly, and
Hmm.
then moved to WWE through NXT UK and NXT, and then moved to AEW. And it was in AEW a couple of years ago in Wembley. Again, I got to see it live. That's the cool part about going to Wembley, especially for the big shows. You get to see these fucking big
Hmm.
moments. And now he's wrestling in a singles match. And he's not a regular wrestler. He has had a few matches since, but he's not a regular. He is very much a commentator that's stepping out for this. Now, Kyle O'Reilly could be in it. He has feuded with John Moxley, but it'd be weird if they didn't do McGuinness here. So
I
Moxley,
think, yeah, more than like McGuinness, but yeah, okay, fair enough. This is a match I could watch. I see. I'm not a fan of people who have had really really bad injuries that shouldn't be wrestling that are wrestling again. So the likes of Daniel Bryan, the likes of Edge, I thought McGuinness was one of them. Even I'm looking very very closely at Paige. I'm like, should these people actually be fucking wrestling? Like, there's a reason that doctors have said no for so fucking long. So why are they now saying yes?
did you feel the
I'm like,
same way when Kurt Angle came back from a broken neck in WWE in 2003?
he should not. Right. So the whole, when you look back on, I think there was a documentary about him wrestling, and all the painkillers and shit like that. I'm like, with hindsight, you're like, oh my god, he shouldn't have been anywhere
Yeah, actually
fucking
proves my
near a
point.
ring.
Yeah.
But when you see back then, the internet wasn't the way it is now. That you know every little bit of fucking detail about everybody. So like, oh, he broke his neck, but he's back, he's fine. Clearly got the surgery, he's grand. Whereas if we'd have known everything that was going on about him, which we normally do about wrestlers nowadays, you would have said he should not be near a fucking ring. He shouldn't have
Mm,
been. Like, I'm sorry,
mm,
you only have to look at how the man walks now. He shouldn't have been anywhere near
yeah.
it.
The
Now,
drugs
saying
he
that,
took, it's well
yeah,
documented. Yeah, yeah.
when he wrestled later, his later WWE stuff and then the early TNA stuff, he was an absolute fucking animal, a beast. But then when you look back, hindsight being what it is, you look back and go, you shouldn't have been anywhere near that fucking ring.
Yeah, it actually
No way.
validates your point. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been anywhere near it. So I'm like, now that like we know these things, we know about Edge's injuries, we know about Daniel Bryan's. Daniel Bryan is done now, isn't he? Or is he?
Informally retired, but he hasn't shut the door. Like
Okay.
he never officially retired, but he retired as a full-time wrestler. So the
Yeah.
door's open for him to come back at any stage.
Like I liked when he came back in WWE, but it was a much more limited schedule, and there was nothing crazy about what he was doing. The same with Edge as well. I think both of them would have been fairly protected. I think that's what they're doing with Paige now as well. Whereas I feel like anyone who goes in to AEW that has these like career threatening injuries and they're going in trying to prove a point that they can still do it. I'm like, you don't need to prove anything. You don't. You're one of the best. Edge is one of the biggest fucking superstars there ever was. Daniel Bryan's one of the best. His what he did at WrestleMania 30 was amazing. You have nothing to prove, lads. I don't know why you're going out
The
there still trying to
counterpoint
kill
to that
yourselves.
is that AEW never do house shows. Like WWE, I know are scaling back house shows and then they
Mm,
scale it upwards and scale it back, but they still do house shows that these wrestlers have to wrestle on. Paige is on the house show circuit. She's not this VIP in the roster.
mm.
Um, this is Nigel McGuinness's only match, maybe of the
No, no,
year.
no, I didn't know that he was just retired. I thought, oh, it was
Yeah,
a
but
career
like
threatening
even
injury.
Edge
That's
and
fine.
stuff like that, Edge might have like 15 matches this year.
Mm.
Is that not better in
Oh
theory?
no,
Like,
I 100% agree. Absolutely. But
yeah.
I go back to my previous argument on Edge is that the very first match he was in was a fucking steel cage match where he broke his fucking leg.
Yeah,
And
well, like,
thankfully it was
and
his
do
leg and not his
I
fucking
get
neck.
that. I hear that. That is like that's a fair point as well. Like I do hear the point that they're maybe not as looked after, but actually they're asked to do much more work in WWE. So it's like pick your poison, and ultimately
Oh no,
they're
I
grown
get
ass men
exactly.
who
Yeah.
wrestled
Oh
for
no,
20 years. So
I get what you're saying, but it's like when they're in WWE, if they did 30 matches a year, they are the matches they do in WWE are different to what they would do outside WWE. And I think everybody knows that. You look at matches in, like, I'm looking at Darby Allin here, look at the matches that he does in fucking AEW. Then you even look at the style that Daniel Bryan had in AEW compared to WWE is vastly different. He was going out there like he was still on the fucking indies in AEW and absolutely killing himself to put on these matches where he didn't need to do that. He could have
mm,
still did the same style. Oh, fuck now.
Is
The
it
same
not his
style.
choice though to do
Oh,
that? Like,
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
we're gonna start getting into, and this ultimately is about someone who this isn't relevant for, but it is an interesting debate. Ultimately, you start getting into kind of the context of like we're gonna start talking about assisted dying if we go through like far enough into this debate. But it is that kind of morality of these are adults, and if they like they don't want to wrestle in WWE because they don't want to wrestle your shit toned down style. That's if I'm gonna wrestle, if I'm gonna finish my career, I want to finish my career having the matches that I want to have. I'm aware of the risks in my body. I'm just going to continue to take those risks because that's what I love to do, and
Yeah.
I can kind of respect that. Like,
Oh, yeah, I'm 100% respected,
but you
but
don't
then
have to
you have
enjoy it either. Like,
exactly, like at the end of the
same
day,
time.
I can respect that that's what they want to do and they want to go to finish their career on their terms. That's fine, but I don't have to watch it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
That's
fair
it.
too. Um. Anyway, it's not
Right.
even relevant to
So
this.
fucking, it
Moxie
wasn't me this
McGuinness.
time. It was you. You fuck.
Is that something that'll
Mox versus McGuinness. Yeah, I'd actually watch that. Yeah, that'd
okay.
be a bang. That's a banger. Moxley is great, and
One I'm
so is
inter-
McGuinness. Like,
One of I think it'd be absolutely class. I
mm,
can't wait to see it live. One I'm really interested in to see your thoughts on is it's Kyle Fletcher defends the TNT Championship against Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita in a triple threat match. Story going into this is that all three of them are stablemate. Well, no, sorry. Okada and Fletcher are stablemates. Takeshita was a stablemate in the Don Callis family with them, but they fucked him out of the Don Callis family, and now essentially the gimmick is that it's like Don Callis is like it's 2 versus 1. I don't care who wins. Kazuchika Okada and Takeshita are paired together because essentially Takeshita is the person that Okada is passing the torch to as the next Okada. Like he is the following in that lineage. Kyle Fletcher is kind of a Tony Khan pet project. Ultimately, he's a great wrestler and has great matches. I just don't feel the clamor in the fan base that justifies the push that he gets. But he is a
there is
great
no
wrestler.
clamor. There's no clamor. Like there is no
Yeah,
denying he's a great. This is a match I'd watch, but I wouldn't be excited about it. I'm like, yeah, if it's on, I'll watch it. If it's not, I couldn't give a shit. It's very much a Kyle Fletcher's good. The other two, I'm not even going to try and say their names. Okada and the other guy.
take a shit.
Take a shitter. That's what I said. Take a shitter. Now I knew I was getting it wrong because it looks like take a shitter. Let's be perfectly honest. Let's be honest. That is it. Take a shitter is a character. What's his actual name? Say the name for me.
Takeshita.
Takeshita is his name. Take a shitter is the character out of South Park. That's exactly what the type of thing. That's how they pronounce it in South Park. Take a shitter. They wouldn't say Takeshita. They take a shitter. That's the way it is because it'd be in Shitty Walk. That's exactly where he would be. But it's a match. I'm like, okay, if it's there, I'll watch it. If it's not, grand. But I'm looking at. I have the other matches here right in front of me. You can take all three matches and shove them up your bollocks.
Really?
Every
Cajun
one of
Cope
them.
against the Young Bucks
No,
for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
no.
Like,
And
what?
this is not my edge argument now, right?
Okay.
You want my argument is here? Oh, look at that. The Young Bucks are in another tag team title match. Shove it up your hairy bollocks.
But, like, this
No,
is generational.
I
This
couldn't
is
give a
like,
fuck.
this is the early noughties tag team versus the tag team of arguably the defining tag team of this era. Like they are, whether you like them or not. Like, and you don't have to like them. I understand and hear criticism of the Young Bucks. I understand and hear fatigue towards watching their matches. I get it. They can be repetitive. They're not for everyone, but they are when you consider they started AEW, the defining tag team of our generation, and this is the first match that the two teams are having in Wembley for the tag team titles.
Right. Let me say this here. You're saying they're the defining tag team of just generation, right?
Name a tag team that's defining rather than them.
I'll say a tag team that's better than them that would be part of that generation, and that is the New Day.
Yeah,
The New Day.
but they left and we haven't noticed them missing on WWE TV.
Yeah, I don't care.
The New Day may
If the
show up
young
after this.
hold on, whoa.
By the way, by the
If
way,
the Young Bucks left after All In and never came back, no one would fucking care.
By the way, Gerry, can I interest you in this? There's a very good chance the Young Bucks win this match and the New Day come out and confront them. That is really on the table here.
Still
They
don't
are
want to
out
see
of
that.
contract. They've trademarked their names, so there's a chance that the New Day are here in this match.
Still don't want to see it.
But they're the defining tag team. So you might have the 3 defining tag teams of this generation here. You love tag team wrestling.
Yeah. Anything to do with the
You're
Young
just
Bucks?
being
No.
stubborn now.
No, I'm not. So basically, I'm looking at these last 3 matches. There's one team I don't want to see, one woman I don't want to see, one man I don't want to see.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at. I'm
okay.
like, I don't care.
Willow
I don't care. I
Nightingale, I
don't
assume,
care.
is not that woman, and you don't want to see Mercedes Moné. What? Why?
Overrated as fuck.
No, you're wrong.
I don't care.
This
you're asking
is,
my opinion. This is my opinion.
This match is the rematch. There is context to all of these matches. Like they are well built and have history. This match is the rematch to the defining Mercedes Moné post WWE match, where it was for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. She was wrestling Willow Nightingale. She suffered an injury in the match. She was due to win that championship because she was going on her initial post WWE tear. She called an audible in that match that says, I'm fucked. Willow, take the title. And she decided to give the title in the ring because she knew there's no point in me winning this match. I'm out for a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. And then since then, it escalated Willow Nightingale to a point where everyone likes Willow Nightingale and thinks she's entertaining. Everyone had that opinion of her. That was the first time, because of the rub that Mercedes Moné decided to give her in the ring when she injured herself, escalated her to a main event stardom, and now has seen her performing and defending a world championship at Wembley. That's the story heading into this.
Don't care. Oh, you're painting her as a fucking saint. You paint her as a saint. Oh, she got injured and made an audible and made your woman champion. Why is she not, though?
Like, again, I'm not saying she's a saint, but, like, make the case against her. She's a fantastic
I didn't like
wrestler.
her in WWE, and I don't like her outside WWE.
Why? Was it all the great wrestling matches she had?
You know what? If they were so great, I know my memory's fucked. I can't remember a single one.
You didn't remember your own life 5 minutes ago, Gerry. No, don't make that. Well, I'd remember it. I think it's pretty clear that I'd remember it. No, you didn't remember your life seconds ago.
Mm-hmm.
The start of the show.
Cannot remember a single
Jinder
moment.
Mahal came back. They should have had The Rock come back and say he did come back in the fucking segment.
I don't care. I don't care. You have me on this show for my opinion. This is my opinion. I didn't give a fuck about her in WWE. I don't give a fuck about her outside WWE. She can win 23 million titles all she wants. Does not make her the greatest wrestler in the fucking world. Simple as fucking that.
Never won the AEW Women's Championship. So
and I hope she still doesn't.
Well, I think this is going to be the crown and joy. Kenny Omega against Will Ospreay.
Don't care.
Your disdain for Will Ospreay
has
been cemented. Meanwhile, in the normal world, the rest of us who actually just like good wrestling matches.
Yeah, all the AEW shills. Yeah, go ahead.
This is the rematch of one of the most iconic matches that didn't happen in AEW. It happened in New Japan Wrestle Kingdom. Kenny Omega against Will Ospreay, AEW World Championship on the line. This, in theory, is Will Ospreay's potential crowning glory. Again, hasn't won the AEW World Championship. A rematch of one of the best wrestling matches of this generation. No, it's just
let me say this, okay? I haven't watched a million Kenny Omega matches, but the ones that I've had were fucking brilliant. Kenny Omega. Now, this is one of the best. And I've said this before about Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is somebody that should never go to WWE because he wouldn't be Kenny Omega. I think it's the same MJF. Shouldn't go to WWE because he wouldn't be MJF. So these are two guys that I like. No, stay where you are. That your legacy is this, and it will live forever. You'll go down as some of the best wrestlers in the world. Will Ospreay, no, and it's not that he's not a bad wrestler. Obviously, he's a fucking amazing, talented person. He really fucking is. Now, personally, he's a cunt, but when it comes to wrestling, he's amazingly talented. But I'm sorry, I just cannot watch flippy floppy bullshit constantly. I can't do it, Ger. I just can't.
I'm not asking like for dirt here or the story or anything, but I just need to know, is there like, you've mentioned personally there, is there a personal poor experience you've had that is kind of just won't allow you to, because I'd understand it
Will Ospreay?
Yeah.
No. I've met the man on multiple shows, really fucking nice, respectful, the whole fucking lot. No problem. It's
all about respect.
It's all about respect. All about respect. But I'm sorry, but when it comes to him as a character, he's such a cunt. I'm sorry. It's like you talk about X-Pac. It should be fucking Will Ospreay cunty. That's what it should be.
No, he's gonna have 80,000 people yell.
He's not gonna have 80,000 people because 80,000 people didn't buy tickets.
That's a fair
41,000
point.
people bought tickets. You fucking idiot. Who doesn't fucking remember now, you gobshite?
That's a fair point.
Don't fucking come at me, boy. I tell you, Jesus Christ. No, I can't. Listen, the whole thing about Will Ospreay is, okay, amazingly talented person. Hate his fucking promos because I hate bro shit. I fucking hate it. Absolutely hate it. But when it comes to watching his matches, no, him and like everyone goes on about him and Ricochet and how that was the best thing since sliced bread. I can't deal with the flippy floppy bullshit. I just can't. We all know that wrestling is predetermined and wrestlers go over their matches backstage. We've seen it a million fucking times. We even hear it. We look at the backstage fucking show. What was that called? Unreal. Look at that and how choreographed and whole lot it is, right? But there's a difference between that and what Will Ospreay does. It's no, it's not for me. It's just not for me. And listen,
I feel like we're on a roll, Jerry.
Let's be honest though. He's probably going to win the belt.
He is. It's what's going to happen
in the main event, and the place is going to absolutely fucking erupt. And he'll probably have a little fake cry and the whole fucking lot. And Alex is going to come out. It might be
real if he wins his first big world championship. Well, no, he's an IWGP heavyweight champion.
I was like, what are you talking about?
In his hometown, there might be some genuine tears there.
Okay, bruv.
Jerry, I feel like we're on a roll there, and then you got to the last three matches.
I literally was waiting on those last three. I'm like, I can't wait for this because he's just gonna be like, "You're wrong, Jerry. You're wrong, Jerry. These are the best blitzers in the world, Jerry. I'm gonna pull my prom in Wembley Arena, Jerry. Fuck you." No.
Is that me? Is it?
That's you. Yeah, that's you.
Okay,
we were talking about me cleaning my laptop, having a wank earlier on. You're literally going to be there spewing the fucking audience with your gum. That's what's going to be happening. Oh my God, Will, that's the best thing ever. No.
Okay, fair enough. Right, we started so positively here, and it just evolved into this. Well, Jerry, look, we'll come back next week. I'll give you kind of what it was like in Wembley and kind of the story. Maybe you might check out some of it if you get a chance. Maybe you might check out the matches you're looking forward to or something.
The matches that I said there. So looking back on that list, the trios match, the women's tag match, not the Darby Allin match, the gauntlet match, the that weird cup final fucking thing, fucking weird. The triple threat match, yeah, but then the rest, no. Okay. I will not be watching. I'll tell you what I will do.
Go on.
Those matches I said I'll watch. Some of the other ones I'll get the highlights on TikTok.
Okay.
I can't ask for fairer than that. You can't ask for fairer than that.
That's a fair compromise, Jerry. I'll accept that. Fair play. We'll have a catch up next week. We'll let you know how I got on and any stories that I have from Wembley Stadium as well, and we'll get Jerry's review. It's fucking entertaining. I know I don't agree with him, but I am very entertained by his anti-AEW rants. Even as he says, the New Day. Now there's a tag team. What if the New Day came out here? Fucking hated the New Day. Never liked them. I
never said that. I never said that. What I said, listen, put it this way, right? If you were to have the New Day come out against Cage and Cope, all over that. All over that. 1,000,000%. Hook that shit to my fucking veins. I'd watch that. 100%. But not anything to do with the New Bucks, anything to do with Mercedes Moné, anything to do with Will Ospreay, anything to do with fucking Darby Allin. It's just a no from me.
Okay. Fair enough. Look, it's interesting and different as well. And that's why we podcast. Jerry, that's all the time we have for this show. Before we head off, obviously, Comic Con is wrapped up for another year. But is there anything you want to kind of give a shout out to? Anything you're enjoying or anything you just want to kind of call out? Anything at all?
Well, the one, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put my big head fucking thing on here. Obviously, you know about this. I finally bit the bullet. And I will be going to do acting lessons in a college I, as a kid growing up, never thought I'd step foot in, and that is Trinity. So I'll be training in the Lear Academy in Trinity later on in September. for my level one. Now I'm a little bit fucking. I tell you what, not insulted, but I'm like, fuck, really, God damn, I really am old. I'm now in the over 35s level one. I'm like, fuck me. I'm like, I couldn't enter in the normal. I had to join the over 35s. I'm like, Jesus
It's like the
Christ.
X Factor. Did you remember when you watched the
Yeah.
X Factor and like it was the over 35s category and it was like people who are younger, we'd consider young right now, and
Mhm.
you watched it and you're like, they're so old. Eh!
And that's me. Now the whole
That's
the
you.
whole the whole plan is, and hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, this all goes to plan. I'll do the level one. I kind of have to make a decision kind of halfway through it. If I want to continue on to a bigger a bigger deal, bigger level after that. So I would do that, and then I would apply for the 6 month program of Bow Street, which is a lot more intensive. Once Bow Street was finished, I would then do the level two back in the Lear Academy, and then possibly the level three after that. So it's about 18 months of college. It's a lot of college for me. I haven't done anything to do with college really properly since I was 18. I did do a graphic design course there recently. I've gone through that, waiting for the result this week. The results come out for that. So
Ooh.
fingers crossed, we will see how that goes. But this will be the most intensive college I've done since I was 18. So a long time ago. Long time
Nice,
ago. So
nice.
yeah.
And anyone
So
who's
we'll see.
listened to the podcast since we've come back kind of knows that this is a real passion project for you. So, genuinely, I know we do a lot of slagging here. I think it's going to be something you excel at. I've said that to you before, both on and off air. And look forward to hearing kind of the stories and your adventures. And I think it's something that remember us when you're up on the stage collecting the Oscar, is the one thing I'll say. I'm going to be in Trinity College myself next week. I'm going to be there 2 nights in a row, actually, because if you don't like, you know, if you're not traveling to Wembley or if you don't want to go to Raw, you want something affordable or you want to have a wrestling show of high quality, you can do it
Yes.
right here. Just go to Trinity College 2 nights in a row. There are shows on. It is Friday September 4th and Saturday September 5th. I believe are the dates. Friday is Fight Factory's 19th anniversary show, the return of Rich Swann. Fight Factory always do amazing shows, and they're stepping out of their usual home of doing it in their training gym as well. So it's going to be a big production. It's going to be cool. I can't wait to see it. And then Trinity Brawl, one of the most iconic wrestling shows to ever happen on this land, is returning. If you like surreal comedy wrestling, if you like a story, it's like it's wrestling, but it's performance art at the same thing, and it's totally surreal. The first one was in July. The only thing I'll tell you is that it ended with us all singing Mariah Carey, "All I Want for Christmas Is You," and it made sense. We all immediately joined in. It made total sense. It is bonkers, but it is one of the most fun nights you'll have. So I don't know if they've sold out or anything, but if there is tickets left, hang out there, have a drink with me, and watch the wrestling. It's going to be amazing. So, and you just have to head into Trinity. So, if you're giving out about ticket prices, or having to fly over to Wembley or and see wrestling, there's some amazing wrestling on there as well. Also, watch Lanterns. I'm going to watch the second episode as soon as we're finished here. It's absolutely fantastic based off the first episode. I'm
Okay.
all the way in. Reminds me a lot of the HBO Penguin show they did. I think we're going to get another version of that, and that was
Oh,
fantastic.
okay.
I'll probably talk
I
about that more as we go on.
yeah, I'm kind of like slowly dipping my toe into DC now. I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes because there's certain projects coming out. This one for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm interested in this one. It's funny you should mention the Penguin because I only read earlier on that looks like the second season's on hold, not cancelled, just on hold for now. I
Everything's
really
on
would
hold.
like to. I'd like to get into that as well because obviously, it's
Oh, treat
Colin Farrell.
yourself. Oh, the penguin is the penguin is basically fucking the story of Cobblepot but reimagined as Tony Soprano. It's fantastic. It's the penguin mixed with the Sopranos. Like it is,
Oh,
and it
I'm a huge
works
Soprano
so well.
buff. So
Yes.
okay.
You'll instantly get it straight away. I was like, oh, he's doing Tony Soprano. Oh, and it works. This is deadly. But in the Batman world, it's brilliant. So yeah, treat yourself to them. HBO and DC, the TV shows tend to be banging, and this seems to be after one episode following that way. So very exciting. Gerry,
Cool.
that's all the time we have for another episode. We'll be back next week. You don't have to wait too long until we're back with my review of all things Wembley. But in the meantime, he's been Gerry. I've been Ger. We have all follow us on socials if you don't already. Click subscribe if you haven't already. But in the meantime, that's all we have for you. Keep an eye on our socials the weekend. I'm going to put up some stuff from Wembley as I go throughout it, and then we'll do a full review next week. But until next week, he's been Gerry. I've been Ger. That's the bottom line. because Lobo said so. Wembley.
Now get your tickets for Trinity Brawl or fuck off. If it makes you feel any better, while I was speaking there, I dropped the whole can of Coke all over my laptop. So
we're just having a mare. Jesus, do you need to see to that? Jesus Christ, Jerry!
And it's not my laptop; it's the work laptop as well. So that's even better.
Well, then okay, they'll pay for that. Fuck it, like it's grand.
So I'm fine. Yeah, so I'm just as we're speaking, I'm not having a wank. I swear, I'm just wiping the laptop.
That's it does look that it's very. Why are you wiping so quickly and intensely with the eye contact? Stop making eye contact with me. Look at your laptop. Look at your laptop.
And it's done.
Good. I'm glad. For me,
I fucking dropped the can again.
How did you drop the can twice?
Shut up. It's lots of wires. Fuck you.
Jerry having an absolute mare here to get kicked off. I'll give my answer while Jerry frantically wanks
No one
away.
cares about your fucking answer.